Hey there. Good evening to Willie Radio, 1400 AM and 95.3 FM. Good company. The show right now is the Windham Region Chamber of Commerce show. It's brought to you by, like I said, Windham Region Chamber of Commerce, Energize CT, and CT Paid Leave. And I'm Ernie Eldridge of ES Eldridge Auctioneers, and my co-host sitting on my left side here this evening is Dan McClintock, owner of McClintock Roofing and president of the Chamber. We do have a couple of guests this evening. Our first guest will be Luke Miles, and second one will be Rose Laurie Field. And Dan, I think we probably need to thank some sponsors, maybe?
We've got to thank our sponsors or we don't get to do it.
Okay.
All right. So the Chamber would like to thank the sponsors of our show, Energize CT and CT Paid Leave. I know you've probably been listening to me talk about the Energize CT program for months. And you probably are bombarded with different energy companies from different programs and services. The Chamber is not a company selling you something. We hear all the time that energy bills are high, so we decided to get involved and find out how we can help both businesses and residents. If you have not had an energy assessment done on your home or business within the last 6 years, you really need to do so. There are so many new incentives, it's crazy. Like, for example, if you are a family of two and your combined income is less than $62,460, or a family of four with a combined income of less than $91,854, then you are eligible for even more incentives like insulation, windows, and new heat pumps. And you won't even have to pay a fee for the assessment. If you are interested in learning more or setting up an assessment, you can contact the Chamber or you can go to energizect.com. The Chamber is also a Connecticut paid leave community educator, and we are here to assist employees with applications. So many employees do not know all the details about this program or how and when to apply. We are here to walk you through the process, help you plan for your leave, especially if you're having a baby, have a serious medical issue, or are taking care of someone else with a medical issue. And we can't promote this enough. If you work for yourself, you are sole proprietor. What will happen if you get sick or injured? Do you have a short-term disability policy? The Connecticut Paid Leave Program is a way to help you when you are not able to work. You can enroll easily for less than private policies. The cost is a small percentage of your income. If you would like assistance or have questions about your eligibility or how to apply, email us at info@windhamchamber.com or call or text us at 860-423-6389.
We'd like to take a moment to thank our corporate sponsors that makes everything happen around town here and the different shows and so on. McClintock Roofing, Hartford Healthcare, Chelsea Groton Bank, Eastern Connecticut State University, Fine Federal Dispensary and Renee's Cleaning Service, Farmer's Cow and Cafe and Creamery, Pristine Power Washing, ES Eldridge Auctioneer, Green's Lawn Care and Landscaping, and Graduate Stores. Always got some news, don't we, Dan?
We do. So, quick reminders for our veterans. Eastern Connecticut Veterans Center Coffee House meets every Wednesday, 9 to 11, at the Masonic Lodge. That's at 375 Boston Post Road in North Windham. The Robert Slate Memorial Veterans Commissary is now at 1010 Main Street in the lower level every Tuesday, 1 to 5 p.m., and Wednesdays from 11 to 2 p.m. Veterans will need to park in the lower parking lot behind the building and walk up to the Chamber building. Also have some Chamber news. Tomorrow is our Men's Leadership Council. That's at 6 p.m. at Lakeview Restaurant in Coventry. It is also Veterans Day at Papagino's in the Eastbrook Mall. If you order anything all day, just mention that you're supporting the veterans and 20% of your bill goes to support our veteran programs, including the food pantry. At about 4:30, veterans from the region will be there with their spouses to enjoy each other's company. Any veteran is invited to join us for good food and friendship. Check out our noon lunch and learn series. That's the Brown Bag series held at the Chamber, 1010 Main Street, every Tuesday at noon. Bring your lunch and learn ways to improve your marketing, branding, grow your customer base. These are free, but please register. Sponsored by Chelsea Groton Bank. Next Tuesday, we're talking about customers. More customers, less guessing, understanding your audience and data. This week, we have Greg Lewis from Connecticut Small Business Development Center on Wednesday. That's tomorrow from 12 to 4. Greg can answer any questions you have regarding starting a business or running one. He has information on other similar businesses in the region to compare yours, so he can help with funding, grants, finances, connecting you to other resources. Stop by tomorrow from 12 to 4. Please RSVP to all our meetings at wyndhamchamber.com. For more information, email us at info@wyndhamchamber.com, or you can call or text at 860-423-6389.
Thanks, Dan. I have our first guest that's on the line here. Luke Miles, are you there?
Hold on one sec.
Oh, hang on a second.
There we go.
Luke, you on?
Hi.
Hello
Good
there,
afternoon.
Luke. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Great.
Thank
You
for having
are
me.
this is a big word, decarbonization consultant. Is that the correct term?
It is, yes.
All right. It almost sounds like what I used to do to my old '63 Buick to stop it from making noises. But anyway, so tell me what a decarbonization consultant does. How's that?
So I work for Energize CT, and we talk to homeowners as well as commercial and multifamily building owners on how they're able to implement heat pumps in their spaces.
Okay. So just. I'm an old country boy, and I don't know anything about heat pumps. What is a heat pump?
Sure. A heat pump, very simply, think of this as an air conditioner that can go in two different directions. Almost everybody's home already has this technology in there. A refrigerator does this. Window AC or central AC does this same function as well.
Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it that way. But it's a unit that is do you hook to your regular furnace, or do you have a separate unit in the house or outside or something like that?
A heat pump is designed to do both heating and cooling in a home. So it's able to do all the functions of whatever someone may already have in their home right now.
So do you take out a furnace? Let's say, my furnace is not good, which it isn't, and I heat with a wood stove in a 1740 house. But do you put the unit there, and it's I had forced hot air is what I had originally. The unit hooks into the basement, and then you hook it to the forced hot air. Do you?
So there's a couple different types of heat pumps that are common in our region.
Okay.
Let's talk about your home here for a second.
Sure.
A ducted heat pump is able to use existing ducts or maybe new ducts, and it distributes heated or cooled air through those ducts. There's also ductless, sometimes called mini split style heat pumps, where you have units in individual rooms, and those were able to evenly heat and cool and control temperature room by room.
Okay, so those are the ones that kind of get placed on the wall above a window or something. Am I correct? Is that the one, or?
Yes, that's right.
That's the second one. Yeah, that's the one that seems to be most popular. I go around to different places, and I was just up at a house picking up some merchandise for the auction, and the person has all these different units on their walls, and I guess that's what they're utilizing is that system there. Now, does that need an outside? It needs a pump outside, am I correct?
That's correct. Both types of heat pumps, you're going to have a unit outside.
Okay.
That unit's called the condenser, about the size of a central AC or maybe a little bit smaller.
Okay. Now, most of them are electric run. I mean, is there any other type of fuel that you could run it on, like LP or natural gas or something, or most of them are electric?
That's correct. These are going to be all electric appliances.
Okay.
So the benefit here is that for people that are looking to save money, if they're trying to switch away from oil or possibly propane, then this is able to achieve all their heating needs, possibly add cooling if their home doesn't have it, and save money along the way.
Okay, so are they more efficient than a regular oil furnace, or let's say a gas-fired furnace or something? I have in my auction hall, I have a very large unit on the roof that is naturally gas-fired, let's put it that way, that runs the air and the heat as such. So let's say I wanted to change something to a unit inside the building. Is there more efficient than the gas one or not? Or can't you answer that?
That's a good question. So most people that are coming from, let's say, oil or propane, those people are usually saving money on their heating costs and in most cases cooling costs as well. People that are coming from electric resistance or electric baseboard heat are definitely saving money. For folks that have some sort of gas heating, like you had described there, a lot of times a hybrid system is a really good option there. You can leverage both technologies depending on when one is going to save you some more money.
Why would a heat pump that utilizes electricity to make either air or heat be different than let's say a baseboard heater? I mean, there's a lot of homes out there, especially built, I guess maybe like the late '70s, early '80s, that were all electric homes. I mean, they were, they touted how all the electric homes were wonderful. So, kind of grab onto that if you could a little bit.
Sure. One of the main differences between, let's say, electric baseboard and a heat pump is how they provide heating for a home. Electric baseboard is 100% efficient. Heat pumps, depending on the temperature outside and what you're working with, are somewhere between 200 to 400% efficient.
Wow.
So even on the coldest days, they're still able to perform better than baseboard.
Oh, interesting. That's it. I got to just try to wrap my head around it as such. Dan, you got any questions?
So I do, yeah, sure. So what is the technology that's wrapped into these newer heat pumps that makes it so much more efficient than, say, your old electric baseboard?
So with an electric baseboard, let's think about this as kind of like a toaster. Just imagine the toaster that you have in your kitchen right now.
Okay. Yeah.
You put in $1 of electricity and you get $1 of heat out of it. With heat pumps, because it's not using an electric resistance coil to generate heat, it's simply moving heat from one place to another. This is what allows it to be more efficient, meaning more cost-effective to operate.
Okay, yeah, I'm grasping around it like Dan does. I can see what you're saying, that, actually an electric heater is just burning a wire or burning something like that makes it red hot, and you stand in front of it and you get warm. But the heat pump, takes heat from inside the building or cold and makes it heat, or makes it cold. Is that what you're saying?
Depending on the function, let's say during summer, like right now, it's taking the heat and humidity from a home or a building, and it's putting it outside.
Okay.
If you've ever stood in front of an AC or a window air conditioner, you feel the heat coming out. That's the heat that's being rejected from the building.
Okay.
Now, during the winter, it does the opposite of that. It's taking the heat from outside, even if it feels cold to us, and brings it in to warm the building.
Okay, so I'm just looking at, let's say, a window unit that is an air conditioning window unit. You have to have it in a window because the outside is where the hot air blows out, let's put it that way, after you're making the air conditioning inside. So these don't get vented at all, am I correct? They're using whatever air is in the room? Is that basically what you're saying?
With a ductless unit, that is right, or maybe better said, a mini split style unit. It's using the same air that's in the room now, and it's either adding heat or it's taking heat out of it. And with a ducted system, kind of like when you're asking about your home that has ducts, it's doing that same process just through the vents in your home.
Okay, so it's like my furnace was. It forced the hot air up, let's put it that way, and then but it had a return that returned it back is what it did. Is that correct? So this one does the same thing?
That's right.
Okay. All right. Very good.
All right. So for the people who have, say, you have a oil-fired furnace, all right, hot air furnace, the area's filthy with them. So, and you're saying that you could have a heat pump that would use your existing ductwork for heating and cooling purposes. Now, I realize, we're talking in general terms here, but generally speaking, would you need to have insulated? Would that have to get insulated, that ductwork, or you just use it the way it is and do your heating and your cooling through that?
Depending on the condition of the ductwork, that's a really good question. Sometimes it's recommended, sometimes not.
Okay.
One thing that could help homeowners that are considering that question, during an energy assessment of your home, sometimes for homes that have ducts, these are inspected to make sure that they're sealed and properly insulated. there are some incentives that are available through Energize CT for people to get their ducts air sealed.
Now, we have a new building come up here in Willimantic on Main Street. It's a multi-faceted building, I guess you'd call it, okay, because they're what do I want to say? They're cubes that they put up and stacked is what they did. I'm trying to think what the correct term would be. But they had built the units, and then they stack them is what they do.
Right, and dropped them in with the crane.
You dropped them in with a crane. Now, units like that probably would benefit from your type of system, let's put it that way, where each apartment would have these heat pumps in it. Am I correct?
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like how you described that system that's commonly called a rooftop unit, which are common in commercial spaces.
Yeah.
These have a lot of hybrid options that are out there from most manufacturers.
Okay, so let's say this one has, I don't know how many units it got. Let's say it has 150 units, which it maybe doesn't have quite that many, but each unit has one on the wall that heats that apartment or air conditions that apartment. And the heat pump would be outside. Would you have several of them to do an apartment place like that? Maybe, I don't know if you can answer that or not.
Yeah, that is a pretty technical question, but I can definitely answer that.
Okay.
Generally speaking, there's going to be one outdoor unit per apartment. So am I reading it right now that this is more of like an apartment building, not like an office building? Yes,
it's more of an apartment building is what it is. Yeah, they're in fact, they've got several apartments already, rented, let's put it that way. It's probably a 5-story building anyways, I want to say, because they dug into the ground and they had a couple of stories down below with a full basement, and then they have a couple, 3 stories up on top. So each unit would have to have an outside pump. Is that correct?
That's right. So just like they do now, where those units it sounds like they're on the roof, they would have these heat pump outdoor units located up there. And
so they could be on the roof and not outside. Is what I'm just thinking. If I had one in my house, I'd have it on the back patio, is where I'd have it. But you're saying that it probably would be it'd be better on the roof, is what you're trying to say.
Yes, it's pretty common for some of those large complexes to put those units on the roof. Makes it easier for service and keeps them out of the way.
That makes sense. It does. Service would make sense.
So I have a quick question. So now mine's a 1910 house, and the heating system is kind of built backwards. And I'm sure you've run into this. It's built backwards from what they do nowadays. Nowadays, when they build, the heat enters the rooms through the outside walls, and the returns are on the inside walls. Now, my 1910 house has the inside ductwork, and it comes in from the inside walls, and all my returns are to the outside. So if you come in and you're upgrading a house, that's backwards. It's forced hot air, but it's backwards from what you would necessarily think about, I believe. Any thoughts on that, or am I just throwing something out that's uncommon?
I would say it's definitely uncommon. There are some older homes that have that set up. For any listeners that are here that have a setup like that in their home, I would recommend reaching out to one of the contractors we have listed on our website. We have a Find a Contractor tool where you can plug in your zip code, and it shows you everybody that's in your area who is knowledgeable about these heat pumps.
So then you'd get an assessment from a contractor to take a look at what you have and go from there. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Now, do these assessments? Do you know if these assessments are part of a program, or is it all you pay as you go along, that type of thing? I know that there's several programs out there for getting. We tout it as a chamber. Several programs that are out there to get. If you make less than this money, you get this. Less than that money, get that. Is that the same type of thing?
There are some incentives out there for not only heat pump water heaters, but also energy assessments for homes. Yes, and for anybody who's interested in that, I encourage them to check it out on our website, energizect.com. We have all the incentive amounts there, some of the financing, and how to get in touch with contractors.
Okay, now you struck on something. I put in 3 hot water heaters in my house, and since I've been there for like 35, 40 years, because they seem to go bad every 10 years. Now they have the new ones that just are a very small unit that's instant type heat. Am I correct?
With heat pump water heaters, these wouldn't necessarily be considered an instant hot water.
Okay.
These are going to be more similar to a tank-style water heater.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so it hooks up to that system to be the hot water heater, or is it a separate electric one?
These heat pumps are designed to take the place of some existing tank-style water heater.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, that's something interesting. I hadn't even thought about the hot water. I mean, if you're making heat and you're making cold or whatever, I guess that hot water would come out of it. I guess is what my brain is just kind of thinking about it. But that's interesting. Would you recommend the ones that are on the wall? You know what I'm talking about? It's kind of an instant on type hot water.
I've heard about those before, and with my previous work experience, I think sometimes those are a good fit. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's a silver bullet solution.
Okay.
Instant hot water is, I think it's a good option for some homes, but it doesn't necessarily solve everything.
Okay. No, that's good to know. I'm sure people out there thinking, well, should I put in, like myself, should I put in another tank, And because mine started leaking on the bottom and so on and so forth, maybe I'm better off just having the panel on the wall. But it sounds like that. Go ahead, Dan.
I'll pipe in here. I did look into those at one point.
Okay.
And what I found was that for my house, perhaps I use a lot more hot water more often. That was not as efficient, but in my shop where we might use it 2, maybe 3 or 4 at the most times a day, you might turn on the hot water for just a few minutes. That was efficient because we weren't keeping a hot water tank warm all day, and we didn't need to.
Okay. Sounds interesting. Yeah, we're down to our last minute and a half. Do you have anything you want? Maybe do you have a website or stuff that people can go to, you're saying, to find this stuff?
Sure. Okay. So our website is energizect.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can see all of the available incentives for heat pumps, pump water heaters, or even things like insulation and air sealing for your home. Those are all available there. You can also read about some of the financing options that's there, too, to help make these projects more affordable.
Very good. Luke, it's been a pleasure having you on the show, and I learned quite a bit from just listening. How's that? Something that I don't always do sometimes, but we're going to have you back on sometime, that's for sure. But Dan, you got something you want to offer?
No, I don't really. I think we're all set. It is good, though. This is the program that these guys sponsor our show.
There we go.
So,
see that? I love it.
You definitely want to call and get your assessments so that then you can maybe meet up with Luke.
All right, we're going on our break here. Luke, again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you in a bit. Hey, we're back from break here, and I'd like to thank Matt for doing the dials here and making us sound real good, that's for sure. And I'd like to also thank our sponsors. Without sponsors, we would not be here. McClintock Roofing, Hartford Healthcare, Chelsea Groton Bank, Greens Landscape and Lawn Care, Eastern Connecticut State University, Fine Fennel Dispensary, Renee's Cleaning Service, Farmer's Cow Cafe and Creamery, Pristine Power Washing, yours truly, E.S. Eldridge Auctioneer, and Graduate Stores. Dan, you've got our second guest, and she's sitting right beside us here in the station.
I do.
I
have Rose Laurie Field. Now, on my second thing here, it just calls you Laurie Field. What name do you go by?
I go by Laurie.
Laurie. All right. So if you see her at Third Thursday, when you come to Third Thursday, she's there.
Yeah.
So call her Laurie. She is from the Willimantic Latino Lions Club. All right. So everybody's heard of the Lions Club. Mm-hmm. So why don't we start with what is the difference between that and the Latino Lions Club?
So the regular Willimantic Latino Lions, they are specifically called a specialty club for members that do not know the English language. So that's the reason why that came about. we're sponsored by the Willimantic Lions. Chris Grant is the one that runs that one, and his wife Andrea. So they decided to sponsor this one because they were getting a lot of members that wanted to participate but didn't understand the English language. So that's how we came about, and that's why we're called the Specialty Club.
All right.
which is-
So they wanted people wanted to be members of the Lions.
Yeah.
But they couldn't fully participate.
Yeah, because they didn't understand the language, and they felt like they were like, they wanted to, but they didn't understand really the concept about
Right,
it. So
right,
they wanted
and
to feel like
course,
somewhere at home. But we're both doing the same thing.
Now, is there an age group? I know that like the Lions. I'm a Rotarian, and we have different groups, maybe in high school or different groups in this or that. But yours is more of an adult type group, is it?
There's no age to that one. We're just all ages are welcome.
Okay.
So my youngest member, she's 18.
Okay.
So yeah.
No,
All
that
right.
sounds that's good.
So what is the mission of the Latino Lions?
The mission is to serve our community, volunteer, do different things. We're really about helping the blind, helping people with the hearing aids, the community shelters, and anything that has to do with the community and helping out. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I mean, one of the famous things with the Lions Club is the collection of glasses.
Yes, the collection of classes, the hearing aids, we do all that.
Okay, all right, excellent. So, what are some? Now you're president. So, what are some of the things that you have been doing?
So far, when I started back in December, I started working with the members, and now we took over doing the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every month. The last Saturday of the month, we all gather together, and every Sunday we delivered 150 bags of peanut butter and jellies to the Covenant Soup Kitchen.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we've been doing it every month since I started.
Nice.
So
all right.
that's
So
one.
is that on the same day every month?
Yes, it's always on the last Saturday. We prepped everything around 6 p.m. We used the 120 Church Community Conference Room, and we prepped everything there. And then by Sunday morning at 11, we dropped them off. That was the time they requested.
So
So everybody gathers.
And also it's something people will remember. I mean,
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Geez, we get that. Just remember it's because it came from you, not
Yeah.
necessarily a.
So, and
whatever.
that probably helps them a lot because they've
does.
got a shorter day on Sundays,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I mean,
it does.
even,
And everybody.
even as much as they
Yeah.
do over there, they run out of energy.
They do.
too.
We get a lot of emails saying how grateful they are for having the bags. Sometimes
So
they're
that-
short, and
That gives them a little
gives them a
something
little
extra
push,
to walk out
yeah.
the door with, and
yeah, and
make
it's
it
like
till
a
Monday.
as a sandwich, a granola bar, fruit cup, water or juice, and we put like inspirational cards in there.
Oh, that sounds
It's
great.
cute,
Nice.
really cute.
So, how many members are there?
Right now we have 17 members.
Oh, that's
17.
not bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, and you are looking for more members, I hope.
Yes,
folks,
we are.
Listen up, and let's remember that we're recruiting here.
Yeah, we're recruiting members, all ages. We're bilingual, so it doesn't matter what language you speak. We're Spanish, English. We just anybody could come and join and help.
Now,
Right.
is this kind of a national program also, for the Lions, or is it strictly here in Willimantic right at the moment, if you understand what I mean?
For the Latino
For the
community,
Latino community.
right now we're the first ones
Okay.
opened
Oh,
here
that's-
in
that's
Connecticut.
fantastic.
Yeah.
No, that's a
Right.
great
Yeah,
milestone.
they're starting
really.
to open, trying to get to open more like in the New Haven area, New London area, and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, I know
sounds
we
like-
have
But
a
we're the
large
first one.
population here that
Yeah.
could benefit from
Yeah.
that. That's for sure. Now let's go back to the peanut butter and jelly. Okay, is it strictly a Latino group that you give it to, or is it all
No, we
different?
just bring the whole boxes to the Covenant Soup Kitchen. and we
Okay,
just,
so anybody just grabs it.
anybody
Okay,
just
great.
grabs
Okay.
it. Yeah, and it's
Now they
not
know
only
they're coming
to the
from you, do
Latino.
they?
Yeah, they know.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's
Yeah.
great. I didn't
Yeah,
know
we
whether you
post it in our Facebook
Okay.
page, and we do everything.
Do you
and
hand
then-
it out to them and they say thank
No,
you?
we just bring it over.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's
that's
interesting.
what.
So they
it is.
probably collect it
Yes.
at the lunch.
Yep.
At lunchtime.
Lunchtime. So
Because I think that's their last meal
Yes,
on Sundays,
yes.
right? Is lunch.
Yep.
So they take that with them. Okay, nice. So, how do you become a member?
So you just fill out the application. You could request it either via our Facebook page or our email, Willimantic Latino Lion Club at gmail.com. And we'll send you an application. There's a $35 processing fee for the application, and it's a $75 annual fee for all members.
All right. So there is
It's
a dues membership.
Yes.
All right. And is that $35? Is that your first one, or is that every year you pay?
No, the
processing?
$35 is just a processing application, and then the $75 is just the annual every year.
Okay, so, all right. Now, this is affiliated with the
With
Lions.
Lions International.
Now, so you're affiliated with Lions International. All right, that's where I was going
Yeah.
with that. So really, the $35, that's where that has
Where
to
they
go.
have to
is
process
to the
everything.
international, because they're a bureaucracy, like anything big like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So are there any particular programs that you have spearheaded since you started, or did you just tell us about your biggest one so far?
So the peanut butter and jelly is the one that we're starting now, and then we're starting one where we're doing an event now on June 27th, because the kids are out of school. So we're trying to make it feasible for them to have something to eat, or we're having issues with, sometimes kids don't eat, when they're out of school.
Right.
So we're trying to do that part. So this is our first one, and we're collecting items like hamburgers, hot dogs, cases of water, and we're going to do it at Laurie Park on the 27th from 10 to 4, have games for them.
So the
Food,
27th
everything is
of
free.
June.
Yeah.
And is that going to be every month or every week? Or
We're going to try
what's
to
your
do
plan?
it during the summer months and trying to do it once a month while they're
Okay.
out of school.
Right.
So let's see how
Right,
this
right.
one goes. This is our first time.
Right,
So we're
okay.
trying
So
to
this
come
is
up with
something
certain things.
You're trying to get it kicked off here.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Now,
then
now what does the Rotary Club here, not Rotary Club, excuse me, Lions Club here, I got Rotary stuck in my head because I'm a Rotarian, but the Lions Club, how do they help you? Let's put it that way, the club itself help you.
So they help with either volunteering, or they donate items, or we just come together and
Okay.
work towards the same mission. We're just
So
doing the
there's
same things.
There's some projects you're working together on.
So
Okay.
there's some interaction. as
Yeah,
far
there's
as like the-
interaction
okay,
with
fine.
us
Okay, I
when
wasn't
we-
sure whether you were kind of a separate special.
No,
and
we
then-
shouldn't be separate.
Okay.
We're all doing the same thing.
So you're
That's
pretty
right.
much. So you are the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just that you're like an affiliate because it makes it easier to grab the members who
Yes.
do not speak
Yes.
English, or maybe speak English, but
Not so
it's still
much.
easier
Yeah.
to communicate more effectively
Yes.
in Spanish.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now, do you hold classes on, learning to speak, English or you understand what I'm trying to?
Yeah,
I don't know how to.
we don't, but we could work towards that. Where maybe work with EastCon and see. The thing is, we don't generate revenue, so a lot of these places require us to give us a big payment, and which we don't have.
right.
So
Okay, fine. So
we're nonprofits.
Yours
so
is more of a
Yeah.
learning
So
on the
we're
job
trying
kind of
to-
English.
yeah,
Right.
I was just thinking that would be a benefit for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
community is that the Lions are Latino Lions are trying to help people so they can because there's got to be able to maneuver
Yeah.
things, if you understand what I mean. I would think that as a Rotarian, I mean, if there was a need for people so they could get a job, or people could do this, or people get that,
Yeah.
I would turn to a service organization like yourself. I mean, your thing is "We serve." I think
Yes.
is your motto, or
Motto,
I guess
yeah.
it is. Yeah,
Okay.
that we serve is what it is, and so I think that would. Do you hook on with the Lions Club? Do they have anything like a golf game or this game or something like that they do? Do you
For fundraisers?
fundraisers?
For
there you go.
fundraisers,
Yes.
other clubs do it, but we're learning as we go.
So how new are you guys?
We're only this is gonna be our second year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We started in
Okay.
December. So
Right.
now me learning how I've gone and traveled to other
So you're the
Lion
first
clubs
president. You're
to-
the first president of the Latino
Yes.
club. Okay, fine. I know how that.
and I'm
is.
the
I
youngest
was
one.
Nice. So they
So
stuck
it's
you
like-
here.
So
I was the first mayor of Wyndham.
I
You
know.
know. So, but
You were not the youngest one,
No,
were
not
you?
the youngest one. That's for sure. You got that right.
gotta stay young.
Sorry.
Young at heart.
I couldn't help it.
No, that's great that you came on. When you're trying. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a hard thing to do. Is well, sometimes it's great because you don't have to follow in someone's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, sometimes when someone has got some footsteps and it's easier to
Yeah.
step in them than it is to try to make
Right.
footsteps.
Yeah,
Let's put it
and
that
most
way.
of our members are young, so I'm trying to get the younger population to get
Well, I think
involved and
that is
volunteer. It's a good thing.
Very
It
important. You
feels
don't
like
understand.
you could maybe recruit over at the high school.
Yeah.
And
No,
such.
I'm president of the Historical Society down here also, and it's just very hard to find younger people who really
Yes.
want to serve. And I'm not sure whether they are afraid that if they say something that they're going to have to serve for the next 100 years, or every day of the year or something. But
Yeah.
I would think that you're just looking for volunteers to just give you a hand on
Yeah.
some of the
So-
key projects.
But speaking of giving a hand on some of the projects, do you have to be a member to help you,
You
to
don't have
volunteer?
you don't have to be a member. I tell people you don't have to be a member. You want to volunteer, just come volunteer. Help us out.
Okay.
And
Right,
then
right.
if they with the time and the years, if you like it, then you could become a member if you want. You know.
Okay.
Become a member and
It's
wear the
just-
T-shirt.
yeah.
All of
Yeah,
that,
it's
right?
So
We'll
you
take
do,
all the
uh,
hands we can.
Dan had said that you do Third Thursday. You have a table
Yes.
at Third
Yes.
Thursday, do you, and things like that.
Yep.
Are you going to be participating in the Boombox Parade? Or
Yes,
are you gonna,
we
you
are.
Okay.
I
Nice.
participated last year with Chris Grant's club, so yeah.
Okay,
now
so
I know
you're
how
going to be part of
everything's
the
work.
Lions
Yes.
Club, but it's going
We
to...
do it
Do
together.
you have a little banner or a big banner?
Yeah,
or
we brought our
something?
banner,
Oh,
so
right.
we're
I was
gonna
going to
do all
say
that.
I think that's very important that you
Yes.
identify yourself. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
As far as maybe a little bit different than the other old fogies in the Lions Club. It used to be that way. Rotary was the Rotary Club was old guys smoking cigars, and that was it. We didn't have women.
So if Chris
until,
Grant is
we
out
didn't
there
have women
listening, you
until
just
the
called him an
90s.
old fogey.
Until the 90s, believe it or not, we didn't have women. We didn't allow women into the group until
Yeah,
the 90s.
Right.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
But Chris Grant was a pipe or a cigar smoker. You're right.
He would,
And
definitely.
he's going to yell at me when I see him next time. But,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, do you have other programs that you're have kind of in the planning stages, or that you're? I mean, there's only 17 of you, but so
know.
obviously you're doing a lot.
Yeah, we have
But-
a lot in a work plan that we're starting on this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning to do some hygiene bags for either the Covenant Stoop Kitchen, the high school, the middle
Okay.
school.
Right.
We're working towards that. We're also doing for the winter some fleece, some care kit bags, and some backpacks for the No Free. Well, it's called Project Hope now. So.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes,
So
yeah.
we're doing
So,
that. So
Well, I mean, for our listeners, it was the No Free Shelter,
Yes.
but it's Project Hope now, where they're up on Valley Street
Yes.
with the new building, right?
yep. So
Okay.
there's a lot of things that we're trying to work towards. So
Now,
Okay.
are you? And this is a loaded question, I guess. Are you getting a lot of good compliments about being the Latino club to different places that you?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we are.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
They
No,
like they like what we're doing, and
that's the key. Okay,
it's like
that
we're
you're-
getting noticed.
I mean,
Nice.
it's terrible to say to be accepted, but sometimes it is tough.
Yeah.
Like an old Yankee like myself. I mean, it's sometimes it's hard for people to accept a kind of a new organization. Let's put it that way. So.
Yeah.
I would think that there's room for, especially because, I mean, the reason is for the language barrier. So for people with the language barrier, or whether it's they can't speak it, or it's just comfortable speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be able to go and help out, and well, we all need some help.
Yeah, we all do.
I think that's one thing that's important is especially the different different age groups in the population here in town. You have parents or even grandparents that don't speak English, and the parents don't, and they can't help the kids. I mean, I would think that your organization, would help in that position
Yeah.
just because you're there to help. Let's put it that way. So if someone's out there listening and you said, "Geez, yes, of course we would listen to what you have for a problem. Let's see if we can rectify it
Yeah.
somehow as a lion." Let's put it that way. So we
Yeah.
serve, yeah.
So with now you have 17 actual paying members, we'll
Members,
say. Okay. So how many people, when you, like if you put out the call and say, hey, we've got, it's Saturday. All right, Saturday we're doing peanut butter sandwiches. How many people come in?
When we do the peanut butter sandwiches, last time we got 13 people.
Okay.
Show up.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's a good turnout.
That's
That
a real
really
good
is,
turnout.
Yeah.
Right, right. So now I'm sure you'd be happy if, say, 23 or 30 came in.
The more the
But-
merrier.
Right? Well, it is.
Yeah.
Right? It is
Yeah.
merrier. Folks, it's a lot
no.
funner that way.
do grocery stores or places like that offer discounts or offer you peanut butter and jelly or offer you
Most of the community members have donated. Either churches have donated
Okay.
and stuff like that. We have reached out to a couple of stores, but I haven't
Okay.
gotten
All right.
no
Okay.
response back. But
Do you find, now, I know sometimes if you're donating, say to the soup kitchen, if you can donate food stuff, and sometimes you can just donate money, and sometimes they can do more with the money you donate than with food.
Yep.
Because I pay full price for my food, but they can get more food for less dollars. Is that the case with you also? Are you better off, like if somebody wants to donate to the Latino Lions Club, can they, and where do they go?
They could donate. We have a Venmo set up and a PayPal set up, so
Okay.
they're able to donate.
and that's not found on your website.
It's on Facebook. It's
Okay.
all over the place. It's
Okay.
pasted.
Okay.
And it's also on all of our like advertisement that people could donate if they
All right,
want.
so if they're going to Facebook to find you, what's that called?
Willimantic Latino Lions Club.
Willimantic Latino Lions Club. Okay.
Now, they would
And-
donate money at that point in time, is what you're saying. Let's say someone wanted
just
to.
scanned the
Let's say
barcode.
someone wanted to bring you a case of peanut butter or something.
That's fine.
Okay, fine. Because I mean, peanut butter doesn't go bad.
No.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's as simple as
Right.
that. It doesn't go bad. You can leave it out in the hot sun, and it doesn't go
They
bad.
could
for some
email
reason.
us, shoot us a messenger, and we'll just pick it up.
Oh,
arrange
there you
and
go.
Stuff.
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's
Alright.
there's probably some grocery stores out there independent that would
Yeah,
say
we have. We also have collection bins. One is in the barber shop here, House Blends. They're yellow,
Okay.
Okay.
and they have our logo on it. 8-6 Salon has a bin, and we have 2 private homes that also have private bins outside, so people could just go drop off. So 151 Tucky Road has one, and 351 Bricktop Road, and you're able
Okay.
to see they're really bright yellow with our Lions Club logo
Okay.
on it.
Okay.
So,
and those
yeah.
are main roads, of course,
Yeah,
that
so people drive
so they
all the
can-
time.
So,
So-
I mean, people wouldn't leave money there, but they would.
No,
leave,
they could
they'd
drop
leave
their
canned
items.
goods
Yes,
or
yes.
that type of. Okay,
Yep.
so and all of that goes to, like you
Yep.
said, a soup kitchen or
Yep.
a church or something like that. Okay.
And everything is on the website. Those bins, you're also able to see them on the
the web-
Facebook,
do you-
The
Facebook page.
website's
Sorry. Yeah.
also,
Yep.
oh, they're on Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Facebook.
Do you
You don't
have
have
a-
a
No,
website,
not yet,
right?
not
Okay,
yet.
all right.
Do you have a? I know I'm stepping on tongues
That's
here. I
okay.
apologize. Do you have a wish list on your website, such as, geez, we need this or we need this or we need this? Or,
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Okay, I was just curious. Sometimes they do have a wish list that we
Right.
really could use this or we really
Yeah.
could use that. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then what about, all right, so new members, if you're recruiting new members, okay, never mind. That was going to be a ridiculous question because you're going to tell me all ages, all types,
ages,
all
yes.
everybody. Really, you're looking for the Latino people is who's going to come to your group most
Yeah,
likely.
yeah.
Do you have to be Latino?
You
or
don't
can
have to be
somebody
Latino.
say, you know what?
We're bilingual because we're the younger generation, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter who joins. We do our meetings bilingual.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I would think, that, Dan, that you bring up a good point. I mean, there are people out there that maybe would like to be a Lion, but would rather serve in that capacity because they have something to bring to the Latino community as a different nationality. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way. So,
Sure.
But I think that would be very important that they'd feel as though they're, being useful.
Yeah.
People like to feel useful, and
Right,
so
right.
if they can help in some, like in your part of the organization, I think that's very important, Dan. I
Right.
do agree with you. So
Yeah, yeah. So, so if people want to get a hold of you, the best way would be through the Facebook or
Facebook, email, or they
Was-
could call me up.
what's your email?
Willimantic Latino Lions Club at gmail.com.
Okay, and then call you is just like 1-800.
Call me is
Latino.
860-462-5204.
And we tape these, so I mean, it could be, they could find it there as such. I was it just escaped me, but I was going to ask you a question, but go ahead.
Okay, thanks.
Like I said, we
So,
go back and forth pretty well.
All right. Like I said earlier, I think high schools would be a great place for you to recruit because those kids they're coming out and they're ready to go and they've got all the energy in the world.
Yeah.
So that's a good time for them to be learning that service to the community is a great thing.
Important
because
thing.
we all serve in different ways.
Yeah.
And this is a great.
It is.
A great program to be able.
When I used to go and speak to different classes as the mayor of the town, I would stress that community service is a very big thing, especially if you're looking for a job. Let's say you graduate high school, you're looking to put a resume out there, and you're looking for a job. I'm going to tell you that if you put down that you served for the Latino Lions Club, I did this, I did this, I did this, put you right to the top of the heap. It really does, because the community service, people are looking. Business people are looking for people who want to give. They really do.
Yeah.
And that's very important. So we're down to our last a minute and a half, Dan.
We are. So we should probably mention a couple of things here with the back to the chamber schedule, right?
Okay. Well, we've got to thank our guest here before we go here.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thank you. Thank you for
very
having
much.
me.
And stick around a little bit. We're going to just finish up the show here. We only got a minute or so, and then we'll take a picture. How's that sound? Sounds great.
Okay. All right. So one of our events on Tuesday, June 23rd, we have Garrett Ambrosino. He is from Edward Jones, and he is going to be doing a talk that's going to be covering the retirement program. All employers in Connecticut are supposed to be making available to their employees a retirement program.
All right.
They don't have to accept it, but you have to have it available, and he is going to be talking about that down at the chamber at 5:30 p.m. on June 23rd. So that's very important because we all have to get involved with that, or we're going to be paying fines, right?
It looks like on June 24th, we got a ribbon cutting and demonstration at Crane's Wing Martial Arts Studio right here on Main Street.
Absolutely.
It sounds
so
great.
You want to make sure you show up for that. We have another ribbon cutting on Saturday morning. That's this Saturday over at Ladd's Garden Center.
All right.
I'm
They just
sure
built
you've
a
all
great
seen
new
that
building.
getting,
I'm jealous.
His new building.
So I really
So
am.
you want to show up at that. That'll be at 8:45 in the morning.
What do you say, Matt?
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
10
oh my
seconds. Oh, we
goodness.
could fill a whole
So
thing
make
for
sure you
10
show up
seconds.
because there's flowers to buy and plant. Father's Day is the next day. Make sure
I hadn't
Dad
even
gets
thought of that. You're
flowers.
right.
Right?
I hope my dog gets me something. I tell you, all she's giving me is grief right now. So, anyways.